I like to be efficient. I can't just small talk forever. Colin is great at that.
Mom and pop sellers really appreciate the face-to-face interactions, like the handshakes. All that stuff that's kind of going away now is very valuable to these people.
Well, the disturbing part about this is that nobody knew that he died, and we still had him on payroll, and apparently he was on auto payment, and so we might have collected.
Oh my goodness.
We would not be here today without our business coach. I truly believe
Yeah.
that. With our current situation, there's no doubt in my mind that if something happened to one or both of us, that you would take care of our children. Investing RN 2024 wrap up / 2025.
Yeah, by the time this launches, it'll be 2025.
Well, technically, we're recording this on the eve of 2025. So welcome to the show. We got the whole team here, Roundtable.
All right, we got a great lineup coming up. I'm not going to read all the bullet points, but there's some good ones. We're going to start by something that happened in one of our properties that I was just made aware of. It's actually happened more than once, so we should have a protocol lined up, ready to go. I guess you can talk about how we took care of the first one, and then what's going on in this one. So usually we like to keep this podcast light, but there are some subjects that we don't want to joke about because they are pretty serious. This one is we actually had a tenant die in one of our properties. So that's not something that anyone ever wants to have happen, but it does sometimes for whatever reasons. And yeah, what do we do about it?
Well, the disturbing part about this is that nobody knew that he died, and we still had him on payroll, and apparently he was on auto payment, and so we might have collected rent from him.
We are,
which we will return.
Just disclaimer: we are not making a joke of this, but it's just the fact that
it was shocking today to find out that he potentially died in November, and his balance is up to date.
Yeah,
so
he's better on his rent than most of our tenants.
He is. But which brought this point up that we need to have some kind of protocol of.
Yeah. Well, this is the third.
Here.
This is actually the third person since we've started doing mobile. This is our third tenant that's passed away. In the past, it's all been in the mobile home parks, and I think just inevitably as you grow your portfolio, you're going to have this happening because you just have more people, so it's just a numbers game. But in the past, we had, I don't know if they had, closer family or whatever, but they reached out to us letting us know that something had happened, and so we were able to coordinate with them, and I think in both cases they ended up selling, and new tenants moved in and whatever. But this one, so we just were made aware of it today, actually. And it sounds like the guy had potentially passed away in November sometime. And like we said, he's on auto pay, it's still paying rent. So we didn't know anything was going on. The only thing we knew was our on-site manager told us that his mailbox was backing up. But that's also not unusual because people are seasonal, or they just don't check their mail, or they go to prison. So there's a lot of different reasons why mail would back up that we weren't really concerned about. But in any case, we found out today. So we always ask for emergency contacts when we're signing people up on leases, but it has become apparent that we need to be a lot more adamant about the fact that we actually get emergency contacts for people. So there's that. And then now I'm in the process of I called the local police department to just get an idea of what happened, when it happened, and then whoever the next of kin is, because we definitely don't want to be charging him when he passed away a month and a half ago or something. So that is what we're in the process of doing, trying to get a hold of the next of kin. And then this one is going to be a little more just logistically a little tricky because from what I can gather, he owns the home. So, it'll be a matter of his family having to get involved and selling the home and all that. So definitely not the fun part of investing, but it is realistically something that you have to deal with. So having some things in place is important.
Yeah. Real life situations happen everywhere. I mean, we're taking care of 130 something people's living situations, and inevitably, like Colin said, it's a numbers game. It's going to happen.
Yeah. And I think with the mobile home parks, you tend to have some older tenants. And so maybe that's why we've had a higher percentage. since we started doing mobile home parks. So I mean, the first one, I think it was the first one. I had just talked to her the day or two before, and then
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Yeah,
I know
that-
we'd
that
both
was-
talked
that
to her
was-
recently.
yeah,
She
we had
seemed
just
fine.
talked to her like a day or two before. She was giving us all these reports and asking us to do these things. I had a great conversation with her. And then a day or two later, got a call from her family or an email or something letting us know that she'd passed away. And I was just like, wait, what? I just talked to her. So it's yeah, not the fun part of it, but yeah, it's inevitable.
All right, moving on to the second bullet point. Why consistency wins? Turtle wins the race. Why does that saying make sense?
Why do you think it makes sense?
I like to be the one to ask the questions first. So-
Jen?
Are we just talking about like the year in recap here? Like our in general, is this just
in
the
general.
extremely broad question? Why
This
consistency
is an
wins?
extremely broad. Well, the reason that I put it there is just because of what happened with our properties under contract, which we're going to get into later. So I thought I'd pose that question before we get into that.
It's like
I'm not a consistency expert, so I'm going to defer to Colin.
well, I don't know. I mean, I think in terms of everything,
consistency doesn't mean, or consistently doesn't mean daily.
right?
Yeah, I'm a person who needs immediate results. So this is a constant struggle for me. I don't know if you can relate, Josh.
Yeah, I mean,
Not at all.
I think that's something we've struggled with. So recently we interviewed Philip. I won't say his last name because I don't know it. But what was it?
That one's coming out, I think, early February. In case
Yeah.
you guys are listening to this
It's coming out
before
soon.
then.
But anyways, his last name escapes me right now. But he's a work from home nurse. That's what Instagram's done to me. I know his Instagram handle, but I don't know his full legal name. But anyways, he started around the same time with us, and on the episode that we interviewed him, we talked about his Instagram growth versus our Instagram growth, and just specifically looking at that, his consistency has obviously worked for him. And not to say that we haven't been consistent with our social media outreach, or posting and all that, but I don't know, maybe our message hasn't been consistent, so we've been a little scattered, and we feel like maybe that's why our growth hasn't been as strong.
So when I wrote that question, I wanted to talk about how we are so consistent.
How have we?
We're
That not
consistent.
It's not the vibes that you've gotten.
Well, we're consistent. So I'm thinking about the podcast, and we are consistent with the podcast because we're consistent
with a lot of things.
Actually,
but we're also doing
yes,
a lot, so it's
the
hard to stay
podcast
consistent
has
with
been-
everything.
The podcast has actually been pretty consistent. Today I was trying to find some financial stuff specifically for women on podcasts. I could not find anything that was like current. There was like maybe one or two podcasts, and I couldn't believe how many podcasts I was looking for, like 2024 episodes, and so many of them had started and had like 4 or 5 episodes and never came back.
Not us.
So none of them have 75 episodes like we just got this morning.
I was like, oh wow, okay, so we have consistency on this thing. Let's go.
75 episodes, let's go, and almost 75 downloads.
That's right.
Oh, and $6.72 on YouTube.
All right, I think
Wow.
this
Let's hang up.
warrants
Let's
an
hang it
actual
up.
update.
We're gonna
This
update
warrants
it.
an update because
We
that
still
kind of
don't
money
even-
needs to be tracked.
Put it in the spreadsheet.
What? Where is that money coming from?
YouTube ads.
Oh,
People value our content so much they're willing to listen to an ad on.
That's crazy.
Actually, I don't know what kind of ads we're running. Well, actually, we don't choose. YouTube chooses for us.
so yeah, no, I think we are. Maybe it's like we're consistent, but we're not as efficient or as like focused
Well,
as we could be.
We
672, which is the same as
672
last time I
still.
checked.
okay, so I would say we are consistent, but we are also constantly like changing.
Yeah,
So I think that's kind of
we're consistently changing.
we're consistently not being the same. And maybe that has hurt us a
and
little bit.
there's a reason for that. There's a lot of reasons for why we have been changing so many times.
Yeah, probably one of them is because we have 3 cooks in the kitchen.
Well, I was
Yes,
gonna
and
say
some of the cooks really don't like certain dishes that some of us like to create. That's the real reason. Some of us love to cook, but some of us just take that platter and just toss it
and throw it on the ground.
as soon as it is
Some people
served.
don't like mushrooms or onions or
Honestly, I just like food, but
So, well, okay. So I think one of the things you were thinking of in terms of consistency was one of our recent deals that we are finally in the process of um, getting under contract. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. And that one was a deal where I think the first contact I made with the guy was maybe a year ago or so. And then
it was before our trip last February.
Oh, right.
So
And it was
it was a
before
year.
that.
It was probably a year
over
and a half ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And this guy told me that he was interested in selling, but he wasn't wanting to sell he was on a 3-year plan. He wasn't going to sell for 3 years. And I basically I think I asked him, would it be all right if I just keep calling you? And he was a really nice guy, and we would talk and we would just kind of chit chat and just whatever, talk about politics and weather and whatever. And so every
some of these
month,
old guys love those politics.
oh,
You
they're
gotta,
the best. They're the
even if you
best.
don't agree, agree.
Whatever they're into, you just like, yeah.
I've never been so far right and so far left on the same day. It's crazy.
I'll be whatever I need to be for these calls. It's like, yeah. But yeah, I just called this guy once a month for the last year and a half, and finally his 3-year plan turned into a phone call about a month ago. He finally called me and just decided that he was ready to sell, even though a month
and we
before
actually met
that,
him.
Yeah, we met him back in February. We went out there. We took the time to drive however many miles that was to go out of our way to visit him and spend the time with him. And that's something else that these older mom and pop sellers really appreciate. Like, they appreciate the face-to-face interactions, like the handshakes. All that stuff that's kind of going away now is very valuable to these people. So we did that, and I think I had just called him a month or so before he finally called me. And when I spoke to him the last time, he was still on his 3-year plan, had the parks, wasn't ready to sell. And then one day he just called me. It was a Friday. I remember it like it was yesterday. And he called me and he said, "Hey, we're ready to do this." And then, one thing led to another. Now we are in the process of writing up a contract with his lawyer so that we can officially get this under contract.
Mm-hmm.
And we will.
So to be clear, it's not under contract and nothing is ever done until it's done. But that's the kind of consistency that's the kind of good things that consistency will get you. And I'll play the other side real quick. So we actually talked with this other seller here at another park closer to where I live. And we were less consistent with this particular seller, even though she said she was on the same timeline. I'm not ready to sell yet, but I have 3 parks. I'll be selling in a couple years. I don't think we ever called her again, and just found out that a few months ago that same park, not that same park, but that same seller just sold all of her stuff. So we did not meet her in person. We did not meet. We were not consistent with our outreach and sold to someone else. Not saying that we would have gotten it if we had stayed consistent, but we'd have had a much better chance.
So yeah, I mean, and I don't know why we didn't follow back up on that park. I think that we just got busy with other things, and it was just,
that one was early before we had systems in place. That was one of the first ones. I'm pretty sure we looked that up back when we were just skip tracing or Googling rather than like actually figuring things out.
Yeah, I think that was one you had driven by, and I'd looked it up on like the hunting app and found the information. And I think that one was even kind of before we had defined our roles, and I was handling deal flow primarily. So you were calling on that, and then I was calling on it. There was no consistency. But so that one just fell through the cracks, and we didn't. I think also too, and that's something that you have to keep in mind, is like on that particular one, I don't think we had gotten it wasn't as warm a lead as this other one was. Like the other one was like, yes, I definitely want to sell, keep calling me, and when the time comes, I'll sell to you. Or at least that was the feeling I got. Whereas this other one was just kind of like, I don't really want to sell. Like, yeah, check with me in a while.
Is this the one that's currently?
It's sold already.
Oh, it's sold. Okay.
Yeah, it's sold already. Yeah. I mean, I spoke with her. I think we both spoke with her, and
I
she was
never
like,
spoke with her.
"Oh, so I
Maybe that was
actually
the
spoke with
problem.
her."
So that was the whole problem.
That was the problem. Colin needed to have a chit chat with her.
This is why, yeah. She said she wanted to sell just in a couple years.
Okay, so I didn't.
Yeah.
And I said, well, we're looking to buy right now, so you're dead to me.
We've since learned our strengths in the business, and Colin is our first introduction, and then Josh comes into place.
He's really good at just enjoying conversation with people.
Yeah, and apparently that matters when you're trying to strike a deal.
No, I love conversations too. It's just, I don't know. I just don't like to.
Don't.
Well, I can't. I don't know. I guess I can't say anything right now without sounding terrible, so I'm going to skip that.
No, but it's like that's just who you are.
Some people are great at small talk and enjoy
I
it.
like to be efficient. I can't just small talk forever. Colin is great at that.
But that's what a lot of these older people want to do. They want to just talk and just tell their story and just go around. And I mean, like the other lady we talked to recently, and she was telling us all about Georgia and come out and visit and this and that. And it's like, are we going to go visit her? I mean, I might.
Yeah,
I can see
Colin
that.
might.
From one phone call, I would go visit. Well, if I didn't have other places I needed to go, I would go visit her in Georgia. But anyway, so that's just all it is. But yes, consistency pays off. So I think 2025, we are going to continue to be consistent and maybe work on our focus more.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Focus is good. Then actually, the next bullet I had was the structure of our new things under contract. But maybe since they're not completely on a contract yet, maybe let's wait on that one. I don't want to jinx anything.
Yeah, that's a good
I agree.
point. Well, we have one under contract.
One is under contract, but that one's not special. That's just buying it for a lot of money.
Yeah, here's a secret. If you want to increase your close rate, just offer over asking. Just offer exactly what they want. And a lot of times you'll get it. But
they had 3 offers at the same price.
I was going to say that was
ours was not the highest offer, but he liked us because I drove out there, did some chit chat, did pretty good.
Wow.
Touched his hand.
I'm clapping for myself just in case. I'm just kidding.
No, but I mean, I do remember
that was a big step for you.
No, but
I don't hate it. I just don't love it.
No, I meant that you didn't run off the seller.
No, but that's the thing. It's like you're good at that stuff. You can't do it as well. You can do it, but again, you can do it when you know it's going somewhere. And I think that's the thing. It's like with this particular deal, we kind of had already had some conversations. We knew that showing up would make a big difference, and you were able to do that. And it's like, it was. I don't think you can just talk and chit chat and converse for the sake of it. But if it's like, so anyways, being our boots on the ground there in Wisconsin, I mean, that was like, what was that, a 6 or 8 hour drive round trip for you?
It was a 6 hour drive round trip.
Not including the day before.
When I actually made it out there, it was 6 hours. I drove 4 hours for no reason the day before.
Yeah.
For a different reason that we don't need to get into.
Because somebody messed up the OR schedule.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah. But anyways, I mean, I remember because we knew one of the other potential buyers, and I think they'd come in with the same offer as us, and the guy countered with 100,000 more, and we came in with essentially the same offer, and he accepted ours. So
right.
I think, and I think that's a testament to the time you took to go down there and meet him and shake his hand and whatever. So yeah, it does pay off.
Yeah, so that one I think we're looking to raise, which it's being debated at this time, but I think we're going to raise a certain amount of money for a little bit of. Have we decided?
We have not decided. No. It's either going to be a straight percentage on your investment or maybe a little equity.
The same 10% that we've done for our other deals, or we've considered maybe doing some equity for that one too, just to make it a little earlier cash flow for everybody.
Yeah, we should.
It's not going to be cash flow negative. We wouldn't buy it if it was cash flow negative. It'll just be a little bit better cash flow from the start.
And I guess we can talk about that kind of stuff. We should do like a separate thing for that. But anyways, it's just funny because we've gone back and forth with deal structure, and for the longest time Josh has been trying to give equity, and I've been no straight percentage, and now finally I'm okay with equity, and Josh wants just straight percentage. So that is the way things go.
And that is why we've had a hard time with consistency.
No, we keep moving ahead.
No, that's the least of our problems.
You know what?
The other stuff.
So despite that, we keep plugging along. And so recently we met a real estate attorney through some friends here. And side note, he lives in Hawaii, so we may have to plan a business trip to Hawaii to meet with him and discuss.
Does he cover all expenses?
No, but it'll be a business expense. So
yeah.
But he was asking us, because we were asking him about a CPA and all this, and he was just going through what's kind of needed when you're doing a partnership and real estate and all that. He was asking if we had LLCs formed, and do we have operating agreements, and do we have, what happens if there's a capital call? What happens if you have to dissolve the company? When he was asking me the questions, I was pretty sure about most of the answers. Well, we do have all that stuff now.
Yeah.
But I don't know the intricacies of it. And I was kind of feeling dumb, but then as he was going on, he goes, when you have a good business partner, you don't even know what's in your operating agreement, because you don't need to know it, because you just work well together and you trust the other person. And
that's how things used to be.
I was going to say, shoot, I know what's in that operating agreement.
So that's how 2/3 of this agreement is. 2/3 in either direction, connected by me.
So we used to be, you know how people say in a marriage, if 50-50 is going to fail, you have to be 100% and 100%. That's how me and Colin were. And now we're definitely 33% each of us.
No.
You're welcome.
I'm 66% in each direction. But you guys with each other are 33.
Only 33. Not only that, but I'm going to get criticized for my 33. I'm pretty sure you only did 31% of the work this last month.
That is the beauty of the sibling dynamic.
It could be better, but it could be way worse. It could be so much worse. Yeah, it could be like this and not be family and stuck to forever.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Well, and then the other thing too that just came up the other day is on that topic of the real estate attorney, was Jenn was saying how, people have told us we need to set things up in a trust just in case something happens to us, since we have a daughter and something else on the way. Spoiler alert if you didn't listen to the other episodes, but I was telling her that as much as I think that's important with our current situation, there's no doubt in my mind that if something happened to one or both of us, that you would take care of our children. And so that's something else. That's another testament to whatever the little back and forth is between you guys. Like at the end of the day, we're not that kind of family that's going to be fighting over.
Exactly. And I know you would take care of also my family if something happened to me.
Colin, I would make sure.
I know you would take care of my family.
Okay. Whatever. I'm not that bad.
As long as I get your 33% if something happens to you, your family will be okay.
Okay.
Yes, I know.
It's so funny.
I know.
No, Jenn.
We joke. We kid.
Jenn would take care of your family. So
not anymore. Just kidding.
They're cut off.
Yeah, hope you guys like rice. Just kidding.
Yeah. Does Nicole have any skills?
Yes, she will do everything that Jennifer that you hate to do.
She's gonna need all those skills.
All right. So one of the other things we were going to talk about is we all just posted to Instagram today. So if you follow our Instagram, you saw it. It's like one of those word salads that you kind of pick out the first 3 words that you see, and we were going to just talk about what we saw.
Yeah. Shout out to Property Gains, Jeff.
Oh, he's the one that said that?
Jeff Boyd, I think. But he posted it, and I saw it this morning, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
What were his words?
I think it was money, power, and faith.
Ooh, that's good.
And that sounds right for him, from what I know of him.
Did that one. I wish I saw those words.
I wish I said those are so good words.
Are you going to do it again?
Yeah, I got to take it.
She's only going to look for that.
I need the most Yeah.
All
So
right.
Powerful
what were
things.
yours, Jen?
So the first time you looked through it, what were the
The
words you
first
saw?
time was love, money, and faith. And I was telling you, Josh, a little earlier that I've already started thinking about what my goals are for 2025, and I was thinking about I wanted to just like not study money, but like all the financial stuff. I just wanted to get super solid on that. And all my free time when I'm listening to random things, I wanted to focus on like finance and just really, I don't know, embrace money. And I think that's interesting that since I'd already decided that my mind is already picking out those words that I was thinking about. And I think that's probably one of the reasons everybody says you have to write your goals, you have to say them, you have to whatever, because you will start to see them. You'll start to see those things that you're now
Well,
tuning into.
and you're in luck because there's this podcast that puts out weekly episodes about finances, and it's
It's really good.
It's so good.
The hosts
It's
are
good.
very, very funny, nice, very
and
nice,
nice.
smart, kind. So
They
yeah,
have a good time.
Jen's
they talk to
first
people.
word was actually love money. That was one
It
word.
was
one
love
word.
money.
I struggle with that. I'm just kidding. So, actually, so you guys have heard of the School of Hard Knocks, that Instagram guy, right? The guy that's like, have you ever been broke? And like he interviews rich people and their story, basically. So that kind of reminded me of one of the reels that I saw him put out recently. The guy he was interviewing said something about, in the Bible, it talks about the love of money is the root of all evil. Because a lot of people pair just money in general. But this guy, he's like, the love of money is what it clearly states. And not only that, but most rich people don't love money. It's the people that don't have as much money that love it. So potentially those without it love it way more than those with it. That kind of hit me right here because
Because you don't have any money?
because of our past.
Oh.
No, but we were always kind of taught that that money's bad. Or even if we weren't taught that, that's the vibes that I got.
So do you love money?
I don't love money. That's a really tough question to be put
You
on the
can't-
spot.
you can't admit that. Come on.
Well, no, because
No,
the
I
reason
don't.
I ask is because you're referring to your past where you didn't necessarily have money, and you're saying that in the Bible it says the love of money, whatever. People that don't have it love it. So do you love it because of your past?
I would say no, because I feel like I'm a very generous person, and I don't think you can be a generous person if you love money and are scared to not have it or something. I don't know. I don't feel like I love it in a negative way. Only good things.
Only all
Colin.
the good things. Yeah, positive.
Hey, come on, dude. You want?
Yeah.
We can't just be doing softballs all the time.
Yeah.
Softballs.
I know that was one thing I said actually before we started recording is I wanted this year to be a little bit more genuine, because I feel like sometimes we tiptoe around certain subjects and like, I don't know, it's less genuine that way. I wanna
Ask
just
me anything.
say what's on my mind. You don't want to know what's on my mind.
Money.
Yeah.
Money. It's not money. I like the things that money can
That money
give you, the experiences that money can give you.
I love the things that
How
money can buy.
eloquent can you say I love money without saying it?
I love money, but I don't have the love of money.
Oh, okay.
I love it, but I'm still a good person.
You will get through the eye of the needle, is what
Yeah.
you're saying. As a camel.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's a different
No.
story, not for
No.
today.
No,
Because
okay.
that ruins the entire subject matter that we're going over right now.
But so I will say, like, for me, I love the opportunities that money provides. And back to the whole generosity thing, I love that when you have money, you can be more generous, and you can, because my and we haven't been in a position to do it, but I really enjoy being generous, and that obviously you don't have to have money to be generous,
I'll
but
say, yeah,
financially
you don't have to have money to be generous.
you have to have money to be generous in that sense. There's many other ways you can be generous. You can be generous with your time and your service, but just in terms of like, just something as dumb as we just came through Christmas. Like, I love to just say like, oh, hey, I like that gift, and not worry like, oh, can we afford it or not, and just be able to like bless somebody with whatever gift.
That is true. He's been talking about gifting people things that we have no business gifting. Like, is $4,000 too much for such and such?
Well,
Yes.
so
Not
my
to your brother.
my brother's turning 40, and I'm like, I want to get him something really cool for his 40th, and so
What is $4,000 that you're trying to give to your brother and not me? No, I'm just kidding.
a really nice shotgun.
$4,000. That is a really nice shotgun. Wow. Can you shoot UFOs that are flying around New Jersey
Yes.
these days?
You still wouldn't hit anything with it, but
I need one more expensive than that.
yeah.
Maybe that's my problem. Mine's not that nice.
Don't you have a Benelli?
Beretta.
Beretta. Oh, peasant. That's why you can't hit anything.
Mine's American. Actually, I don't even know what mine
I'm
is.
pretty sure that I think Beretta's Italian. Sounds like Barata.
They're both Italian. Doesn't American make good guns?
They used to.
Anyways,
Anyway, that was
your
a
words. Did
tangent.
we discuss your
Oh, what were
words?
yours words, Josh?
My words were change, creation, patience.
And what were your words the
I'm
second
most
time you looked at
excited
it?
about.
And then I tried to do it again because I heard Jennifer's and Colin's. I was like, I need better words. And so my second time I went through here, my words were health, wisdom, and weed.
Which seemed more appropriate.
I already have so much health, wisdom, and weed. I'm good. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I live in Wisconsin. Still illegal here.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I said it like that. We don't smoke. we're in California. We don't smoke anyways, but I don't know. So what were creation, foundation,
creation,
No.
change, and patience.
Okay.
I'm most excited about your change word.
What do you want to change about me, Jennifer? Listen, now that you're on that topic, what
I'm
is
just
so bad that
messing.
you're?
I'm just messing. Accept everything.
I don't even know that there's anything she wants to change about you. I just think it's
No, I just.
I think it's
if
just that
there's
she
an
doesn't believe
opportunity-
you can change.
Yeah, that's probably it.
I've changed a lot. If you guys knew what was going on in my head the last few weeks, I've had some thought things.
Wow, deep.
You've really changed. You're so deep now. Well,
What's the term that I'm thinking of?
just soul
Times
searching.
reflection. Times of reflection.
Yeah, that's good.
As the yeah.
Whatever. All right, Colin, what were yours? So we can make fun of you now, finally.
Mine are kind of lame because they're pretty on par. But it was connection, friends, and purpose. I will say when I saw connection and friends, I was really excited because I'm that's probably what's most important to me. But then I was like, are any of these going to be like pertaining to business and bettering myself? It was like,
have a good time.
yeah, because it was basically I got like the live, laugh, love of like, but like the purpose one I think is something that I have. I don't know that I've struggled with it, but it's something that I think about a lot. Just like purpose in life. I don't know. We're laughing too much. My eyes are watering. I'm not crying.
He's crying.
I'm crying about my purpose. No, but it is something that I think about and something that I would like to be. I don't know, kind of like you reflecting on the meaning of life and whatnot and what we're doing here. So
you've had a lot of thought things recently, like
yeah,
me.
I've had some thought things. I've had some thought things that are changing me.
All right, so we're gonna go over 2025 goals real quick, and I say that. I was going to say, I think I actually need a little bit of time to think about this. I don't have anything that...
Like personal goals or business goals?
Well, so me and Nicole went over family goals and stuff for the next year, but more business goals, I think I need a little more time to think about.
What are your personal goals that aren't super personal that you can share?
Well, it's more health, wisdom, and weed type stuff.
So like less
Nicole's
of that
on
or
board.
more of that?
She's on board with it.
Yeah. I think the weed brings both of the others. So
Health and wisdom.
yeah.
So that's kind of a side note. So weed has been bad basically my entire life, or not bad, but it's been looked down upon. But we're starting to see a lot of benefits to it that are being studied. And what are your thoughts on that?
Who's studying
yeah.
the benefits?
Well, I would like to know where this information is coming from.
All these guys out here on the streets.
All the homeless people.
All the guys selling their CDs on a 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica.
No, I guess that's a different subject for a different time. That would take long to discuss. Maybe next episode.
I don't necessarily think that weed is bad, but it's just like alcohol. Like I don't necessarily think alcohol is bad when you don't abuse it.
I think the only difference is there are no benefits to actually drinking alcohol.
No, alcohol is pure poison, like 100%. But again, like if you have a glass of wine every other day or a beer every, infrequently, like I don't think it's. I mean, consider all the nasty stuff that's in all the food and everything we eat nowadays.
Yeah,
like
that's a good point.
Could it be that much worse? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't.
I think maybe the same guy should study this.
Yeah, maybe the pothead should study the benefits of alcohol. But yeah, I mean, I just think that people will justify whatever they're doing, and so I would be curious to know who these beneficial studies are coming from.
More people with like chronic pain type situations.
Oh, that kind of stuff. Absolutely, yeah, and especially when you compare that to taking Norco or
getting
something
hooked on
else.
some harder drugs.
Yeah, I think by all means.
All right, I think final 5.
Oh, goals. We never even talked about goals.
Did we not?
Are we actually going to get into goals?
Well, you said you needed more time.
I think I need more time to think about it.
You posed the question and I was like, no, actually, let's not.
No, I mean, goals wise, we're always trying to grow our portfolio. I think we're probably coming up on the 3-year mark from when we originally started. We're coming up on, would this be it? No.
April 2020 is when we got our first house.
No, but when did we say we wanted to have 1,000 units in 3 years? That was like the beginning of 2023, right?
That was July.
2023?
That
was July. That's when we hired our business coach, was July. So I guess it was a little bit before then.
I think we had said January, but then because of kind of the way things, they're like between January and July when we hired our business coach.
Is that still our goal?
Well, so I think it's okay to change your goals. And I think in my mind, that goal has changed. Get to 1,000 doors. That would be great. Like, I don't have a problem with that, obviously. But to do that, we would have had to give away like 80% of the equity of all these properties. So what's the point, to be honest?
And then also, I think when we originally made that goal, that was our only focus, was real estate. And then we hired a business coach, and right around the time we were hiring the business coach, we were starting, the very beginnings of this podcast. And so then as we hired the business coach and they kept telling us to focus on real estate, we decided to push forward with the podcast.
We decided we're not. What you're saying doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter that we paid.
We just paid you, how much did we pay?
Like
$25,000.
Yeah, we just paid you $25,000 for a year of your advice, and we're
going to take none of it.
No, we didn't take none of it. Oh, and that's something good to recap, because I will say where we're at now, like we would not be here today without our business coach. I truly believe that.
That's true.
And so
I think he saved us.
Yeah. So I don't know, it's hard to quantify whether or not it was worth the $25,000, but to me it was, just because it potentially saved our company and the podcast and everything we're doing with, property management and our real estate portfolio. And in the meantime, our real estate portfolio is on the verge of almost doubling again. So it's like, all in all,
for the 3rd year in a row, that's pretty good consistency.
Yeah. So
maybe we give ourselves a harder time than we could, or
Josh and I give ourselves a harder time.
Maybe we just found the problem.
Maybe we
found that a long time ago.
We tried to avoid that that's why we started it, the two of us. But we love you, and we're happy you're here.
I should have left you two with your 11 units. You guys would be absolutely crushing it.
We'd have way more by now.
At least 12.
We'd have at least 14.
We'd have 14.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I will say, like, as much as the business coach, I do think that obviously Josh and I have mostly contributed to the success of that. No, Jenn obviously we wouldn't be where we are.
We're good at getting the properties. No, and that's the hardest part.
Well, that is, I mean,
Obviously.
Debatable.
Only said by somebody who's not in the heaviness of the management.
Yeah. Well, no, but again, like this just goes back to the power of partnership, because if it was up to Jen, we wouldn't be where we are right now in terms of the size of our portfolio.
Yes, because
If it
want
was up
things
to Jen,
be
we'd have 11 units, but they would be run really well.
So well.
so
So
well.
well.
They would be cash flowing us better than our portfolio right now.
No, I mean,
No.
but because of Jen, we have the systems and the structure to go out and chase more, and because of us, we stubbornly pursue more, even if
Yeah.
it's not the best thing for us. So that
For
goes
sure.
back.
It's always
to
the best thing for us.
It is always the best thing for us. 100%.
Like, if we're in 2035, looking back,
Let's not.
whoever's not on YouTube, you guys need to go look.
No.
Minute 48. You need to go look at
No.
that. Oh, actually, we had a little pause in there, so it might be
Yeah,
minute like 45. But
yeah, something like that.
Looking back, if we're in year 2035, looking back, we will not be sad that we got more units.
No. Well, and that's
No chance.
And I'd say, like, going into
even if there's a softening, which I mean, there kind of seems to be a little bit ish right now. Who knows? But in 12 years, hold on.
Oh, hold on. This will be good coming from our money guy.
Well, no, because
10 years.
Technically, it's still 2024, so
it's almost midnight. So in 10 years, looking back, no chance that I regret buying this many properties.
Well, and I do think, like, that's something else that,
unless Jennifer is murdered me in my sleep by then, just to get the whole company.
Chances of that are high. Yeah, that could be your change. But I also think that, like, having the business coach had us, it kind of brought us all back where we all rethought our goals and why we wanted that. And then doing the podcast, we had to think about, like, okay, are our real estate goals still realistic while we try and build this podcast and this everything that we're doing here?
Yeah.
And I think we all took a step back. Initially, Josh was like, I don't see why we can't still get to 1,000 units. And Jen and I were kind of
like,
on
well,
the same
we're
page
now building a second business. There's no
Yeah.
way you can pursue two things with the same, like, speed. You can't have all your attention into multiple places. Well, for me, 3 places, because I was, like, focusing on management.
Well, that was the
also
problem,
trying
actually.
to help other things.
That was the problem, because in my mind, I was like, I'm going to do this podcast stuff because it was my sole focus at the time. It's not so much now. I've been pulled back a little bit. Jennifer needs my help again. Go figure.
Saving the business again.
But I was thinking that you guys would be focusing on the real estate. Podcast was kind of going to be like my sole focus, and turns out we all like to do a little bit of everything, and that which is fine.
That works. Yeah. For us, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think so. As we kind of reevaluated our goals, and Jen and I were not in nursing at the time, so we were expecting real estate to be everything for us. But since then, we've gone back to nursing, and we've started looking at our real estate portfolio different.
And honestly, I am much happier with it now, because for a while I was extremely frustrated because we had taken a step back from the nursing and had expected that the real estate was going to, like, float us. That was going to be our personal income. And because of the way we were buying things, we weren't great at working backwards from our goals and actually buying for what we wanted. And so now that we've taken the pressure off of this has to make money, now it's like, okay, well, we can actually focus on the systems. I can focus on the management. We're just dialing things in. You guys are growing the portfolio. Things are happening. And now we don't, like, desperately need it to happen. And so it feels so much better to me not needing that at the moment.
Well, and it went from an immediate need to okay. It's the Earth Giants.
Elsa 2 again.
Elsa, yeah. Frozen 2 is babysitting our daughter for this episode. Hold on, we're almost finished. Just 1 second. The Earth Giants will be gone. Hold on, just wait. Don't go back. They'll get you. Just wait here with me. Hold my hand.
Okay, we can cut all that out.
We're gonna leave it genuine.
This went from we need something now to, like, this is our 10-year plan, and because of that, we can buy things that maybe the person that's trying to live off this now wouldn't be able to buy, and we can buy them at a price that they wouldn't be able to pay, because our our main thing is getting these parks and real estate for as little money down as possible. And then obviously, like, they have to cash flow day one. We don't want to be losing money on them. But as long as they meet those two parameters, it's kind of okay for us. And knowing that we can come in and increase the value and sit on them for the next 5, 10, 20 years and just let the value increase and let the rents increase, and we'll be set. So
Yeah. Well, and already like our gross income is, it's, what is it, like 45, 50,000, something like that?
somewhere in
Which,
there, yeah.
I mean, what we're actually seeing from that is pretty thin. But in 20 years, like, and I know Jennifer wants to see cash flow now, but if we did nothing else in 20 years, these will be paid off, and then that's hitting our pockets, 100% of it.
And in the meantime, we hired somebody that we're paying a decent amount monthly. So that also allowed us to grow more. And we've talked about that before, so I won't get into that. But
All right, I guess we don't have time for the final five with Jennifer. We'll do that next time. We were thinking that Jennifer hasn't done the final five ever, so we'll do that next time. And if she's already done that, it's been a while, so we'll all hear it again.
And I forgot them, so since in my state of health right now. So
yeah.
we'll do it again.
All right. Well, check us out on YouTube. Where else are we? Twitter.
And Instagram, X,
Not X, we're not
TikTok.
There.
No.
We're everywhere. We just don't consistently post
We're just-
everywhere.
We're there, we just don't engage.
LinkedIn.
YouTube, Instagram. DM us. Talk with us.
Craigslist.
Leave us a review and a 5-star review, please. No, 5-star rating and review. That would be great. And
Just
send
review.
it to one other friend. We're growing, but it's slow, so help us out a little bit.
Send it to your parents. If we can get everybody's parents to listen to this like our parents do, actually your parents,
yeah,
then we will be successful.
Yeah.
We will
If
have 75 more downloads.
If you know of a nurse that likes real estate, likes business, likes finance, shoot them this info, and we'll catch you on the next one.